to all of the off-tanks that I just jump-scared, I am not sorry. Hello everybody, I am Master Wabbit, and in between Hildibrand recordings, because it has been a few months, I have gotten the Yan mount from Treasure Dungeons. Look at that precious bean, isn't he cute? Oh man, how lucky can a guy get? Anyways, ending G-pose, and we are going to start the episode off proper. Previously on the Hildibrand adventures, Hildibrand and Hardeboiled stopped a train from being exploded. We found out what happened to this shard's version of Nashu Makaraka. Apparently she was taken out. We learned that Hardeboiled does not like Oglops at all. And now, a need for speed. What? I've done my best to try and avoid spoilers for this, but there's one image that I already know, and it's probably going to be the image they show here, isn't it? Oh my... I got Akura'd by this. Okay, a need for speed. Hardeboiled casts a resolute shadow beneath the unrelenting glare of True View's neon illumination. Hardeboiled has been working on cracking some sort of device for more information. There's also a guy known as Carnelian who is evil and scheming and working with someone, but it's been a while. Let's get up to speed, shall we?
Jake, I was hoping you'd drop by. It took a bit of doing, but I was able to widen the crack I made in that storage device and yank out a couple new scraps of data. The first file just so happened to be a record of Carnelian's procedure. Seems the bastard soul was poured into one of those clot-type monsters. They've got an annoying talent for mimicking shapes and faces, which is exactly what Carnelian took advantage of when he tricked us with his fake chemica.
Oh, here comes trouble.
Never fear, Inspector Hildibrand is here. The other file I pulled had details on yet another monster-fied criminal. This mook was nabbed for repeated vehicular violations, riding his air-wheeler too fast, making reckless maneuvers, endangering others, that sort of thing. According to the data, he's running around in the body of a cactuar now.
Who exactly was Nashi waving to there?
Judging by what we've seen of that researcher's schemes, he'll have dispatched the prickly speed demon somewhere outside the dome. But where? Rejoice, my good detective, for I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, come bearing the very direction you seek.
Really now?
I have it straight from the mouth of the real chemica, that an ambulatory cactus piloting a flying contraption was supposedly observed streaking through the sky on a southerly bearing. Alas, despite hastening to confirm this sighting, our intrepid sheriff arrived too late to see the needle-covered individual in question. The report was
hang on, that word is really difficult for me for some reason. Summarily
dismissed as fanciful imaginings of inebriated townsfolk.
It's because it's summary, but summarily that am I the only one that has trouble with that word? I can't be.
The insistent chirp of veteran instinct nonetheless impelled me to investigate. Thus did my faithful assistant and I venture further south to question the colorful crowds of Tuliodal.
Oh no. Tuliolol!
Yes, there to find sober witnesses eager to tell of an airborne succulent.
They said it was moving at an incredible pace, sat astride a vehicle like the one the mechanical invaders had ridden. It was last seen zipping past a dirigible before vanishing into the clouds to the south. I have trouble with summarily, but not dirigible. Really?
Alexandria's soldiers ride on air-wheelers, so unless there's another flying cactuar out there somewhere, I think we have our man. Good work. Almost too good, in fact. Uh-oh. No. Over there! Is that a new spy case? Is that a new case I spy? Hardly had to bait the hook. They're the real deal, all right. Although, come to think of it, I don't know why anyone would bother impersonating either of them to begin with. At least the lead seems solid enough, but if we're serious about catching this guy, we'll need an air wheeler of our own. Come on, there's a shop nearby that does custom jobs.
Buddy, I bought one of those like week 3 of Dawntrail's launch. I have plenty. And there go the little troublemakers. Okay, looks like we're going to need an air wheeler of some sort. We need to speak with Hardeboiled over here. Oh, by the way, relics. Fancy cookies. Love them. Alright, nah, shoot. Oh, I could go for a nice bowl of custard. Hildibrand.
Did he say they do custard jobs?
That isn't quite right. Alright, Hardeboiled.
This is the place. I used to be a regular here, but I ain't been back in a while. Let's see if they still remember me.
Up back to big ol' cutscene. Hey, Alalafel. Well, well, look who the wind blew in.
Manam, I've come for my steed.
That battered old scrap heap? It's been rusting on my garage floor for so long, I doubt it can manage a slow trot, let alone a gallop. Happy to give it a tune-up if you've got credits to burn, but I'll need you to supply some parts. A new high-voltage battery and superconductor coil at a minimum.
The chronometer's ticking. I'll see if I can't get my hands on a battery, but can I ask you to track down the coil?
Really? I have a trouble pronouncing summarily, but not chronometer? What is wrong with me?
These soft-boiled dopes wouldn't know a suspension spring from an anti-gravity gimbal, but you I can trust to find the right part without cracking under the pressure.
Let's see. I'm on it, detective, or got my number, do you? Let's go with I'm on it, detective. Hardeboiled seems desperate to get his air wheeler up and running, so I'll give you a tip. You want to coil quick-like, then salvage the rides of defective sentries is your best bet. I'll even lend you this handy gadget to help you out. Set off the distress signal on the west side of Old Alexandria, and you'll soon have some murderous mechanical company to dismantle for parts.
I'll take these two along with me on the battery hunt. Good luck out there.
Poke, poke. All right. Sure looks like we have a job right now, and we need to head way out to a Need for Speed. Use a distress beacon at the designated location in the ruins of Old Alexandria, and obtain a superconductor coil from a defective sentry. All right, this is a distress beacon. Probably should read this after I teleport, Shake. Alright, originally employed to request reinforcements, this modified beacon emits a distress signal coded to attract the attention of defective sentries. Yeah, it's not as late as night as the last recording, but I'm still kind of loopy. Ooh boy. Alright, wait, hang on. Instead of a Yan, why don't I just show off, let's see, mounts. Do I have Air Rider? Wings of Eternity, that's from the latest. Not the latest one. Where is that Air Rider? Goodness, I have so many mounts. Okay, that doesn't help me. There we go. If we're going to be doing some Akira stuff, let's do it on one of these things. Yeah, and it flies, of course. So yeah, this is what we're going to be fixing up for Hardeboiled, apparently. Why he can't just ride, you know, on the back of mine, I don't know. Is that a two-seater mount? Alright, here we are at our destination. So we need to use the distress beacon. You sense a hostile presence. Oh, hey buddy. So listen, I kind of need a coil. Do you mind? Alright, fine. Cowabunga it is! Alright, deliver the superconductor coil to Monam in Solution 9. Oh dear, I have to fly all the way back there, don't I? Or, you know, I could just warp there. Yeah. Oh, someone's doing a fate way out there in the distance. I mean, don't blame them. Alright, I need to head. I think the Arcadian is going to be the closest little direction here. By the way, fantastic raid series. Just absolutely amazingly fun. Warp ahead. Further warp ahead. Oh, can I actually go in the shop? Hey, I can! Melody! Monam's been working like a Malala possessed lately. Hearing about your exploits really got him fired up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That Lalafell that is constantly tracking down Nashu is, I'm double checking. I need to keep my eye out for him. But also, is this his... I don't think this is his reflection in this shard. But alright. Well, get your hands on a coil? Ah yes, the superconductor coil. An essential air wheeler part salvaged from a military-grade vehicle. Let's hand that over. Aye, that should do the trick. Now where did your mates run off to? Can't be that hard to find a store what sells batteries. You should probably head over to the Nexus Arcade and see what's keeping them. Oh no. Over to the Nexus Arcade, huh? Let's see, closest Aetherite shard is, well, back to the Arcadian. Although, maybe the Neon Stein was a little closer. But we need to head over to none other than this shard's version of Rowena's place. Where it's, oh boy. A lot of crafting, gathering, and stuff happening there. Alright, Nashu, Hildibrand, Hardeboiled. Oh, they're not down on this floor. I can... Oh, there's Hardeboiled. Alright. This is not Nashu. So I know you're over there. Let me head up here. Are there those two around here? Never sit on this couch. No, I don't see them down over here. I know Hardeboil's there, and I could absolutely continue the quest doing that, but I wanted to see if I can spot the other two. I don't spot them. Alright, well, them's the breaks, I guess. Hardeboiled!
Jake, any trouble picking up that coil? Nothing you couldn't handle, I wager. As for the battery, I bought one easily enough. The problem was convincing the inspector and his gal to stick around after he caught a whiff of tantalizing familiarity. Long story short, they wandered off and haven't come back. Suppose we ought to go look for them, eh?
Yes, yes, I think we should. Oh, where'd they go this time? Oh, there they are. And hey, look, it's a Lalafell. And that is... Huh?
Is that a corpse? A smiling corpse?
Yeah, you get used to this.
You needn't fret, detective. This dapper zombie is an old acquaintance of mine. Allow me to introduce myself, good sir. I am a proud member of the Gentle Deadman and disciple of Master Hildibrand. I have been on the road seeking out new recruits for our merry moldering band. Said search is what brought me here and into the midst of this unexpected yet most welcome reunion. I don't usually hold with necromancy, but he seems harmless enough. So, if you're done catching up, we've got a case to work on. In actual fact, our conversation was almost entirely case-adjacent. Employing his nose for festering fellows, this gentle zombie traced the stench of his necromantic decay to the very facility in which I once slumbered. Yes, I became fast friends with one of the reanimated researchers there. During the process of getting to know each other, he spoke briefly of the only person left alive after the incident. According to my new charnel chum, all the lab workers perished when an accident resulted in the leakage of a highly toxic substance. All that is, save for a single man who habitually wore a protective gas mask. Keshkaya. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this so hard. Keshkayi. Keshkayi? Yeah, Keshkayi is his name. He was second in charge after the overseer himself, yet disdained by his peers as a condescending know-it-all. They did, however, grudgingly recognize his passion for his work. Even after devoting a full day to official experiments, he would pour his remaining time and energy into some mysterious side project. Man, I am just getting words wrong left and right today. And he was the sole surviving researcher, you say? Sounds like we finally have a name for our mastermind. Courtesy of the shambling undead, no less. No matter how many years I do this job, well, thanks for that. Glad to be of service. Now, if you'll excuse me, my new recruit and I have a cafe tour planned. New recruit? And we're not going to see this new recruit, are we? So that fellow was an honest-to-God's walking corpse, huh? I've met weird folks in my line of work, but do you always keep company with such oddballs? Yes, unfortunately. That was out of line. It's just, I reckon there are forces in this world you're better off not messing with. Anyway, let me take these parts back to Manam and get my wheeler repaired. Shouldn't take too long. I'll ride him back here to make sure he's running smoothly, and you can see the magnificent beast in all his glory. Okay. So, could you kindly get out of here? Freak. Nashu. Our gentle zombie friend was as reanimated as ever. And to wrap up this quest, we talk with Hildibrand. Detective Hardeboiled seemed somewhat nervous, excited to reclaim his pride and joy, perhaps? Oh, we're about to find out. Oh, please do the Oculus slide. Please do the Oculus slide. That wasn't the Oculus slide. But also that has a gun in the front. Core, would you look at that? Uh-oh. What do you think, Jake? I call him Night Stallion. He's a custom job built for yours truly, and has far too much horsepower for the average mook to handle. Anti-gravity capabilities are standard, but when it comes to ground speed, he's been tweaked to achieve the highest possible performance. The trick is to install quick heating motor coils. But won't the increased heat compromise the magnetic field's integrity, you ask? While that's a valid concern, a hotter drivetrain responds completely differently when you open up the throttle and... Nashu, Hildibrand, what are you doing? You. Get those filthy hands off my ride.
Yeah, don't touch Lola.
I really thought to enhance your beloved steed with a touch of Salamanderville. Oh no.
So you've had this amazing machine this whole time? Why haven't you been riding it until now?
Ah, so fresh-faced and innocent. The spitting image of my assistant.
Huh. Oglop is there.
I'll never forget the day I hung up my spurs. It was right after I'd caught Carnelian.
Hildibrand. Ooh, flashback.
I'd been simmering in thoughts of vengeance, fit to burst my shell at any moment.
Okay, this is kind of rad. Come on, I want the ocular slide. Oof! Good shot! Yes! The ocular slide! Ooh, there goes the regulator.
Big house is too good for the likes of the Crime King. See you in hell, your majesty.
Uh-oh. Should have pulled the trigger when you had the chance. You've gone soft, hard-boiled.
Huh? This flashback exceeds the legal length.
What? Laced with illicit embellishments, no doubt.
Wrap it up, Gumshoe. To cut to the chase, my assistant was avenged. Slinging the Crime King into the slammer took me off the boil, and riding cold just ain't my style. But now that Carnelian's on the streets again, it's time for me to get back in the saddle. They were saying that Cactuar punk flew over Thule whatever, then blew past a dirigible on his way south, right? What kind of territory are we looking at?
I think what we're looking for is Yoctoral.
Lots of big trees are there. Then let's make this Yoctel's dirigible landing our starting point. I'll take Night Stallion and meet you there.
Yoctel, not Yoctoral. There's so many words in this game. What are you doing? Oh dear. Never touch another man's vehicle. Just don't. And with that, a need for speed is completed. Alright, maybe I'm just a little too excited for Akira slides, but that film may not be like a great film, but as a technical achievement, oh my goodness, it is so amazing. But alright, that will do it for this episode of the Hildibrand Adventures. So, until next time, everybody, take care.